The Backrooms. You've been here before. Level 277, Securitus site. Survival difficulty. Class undetermined. Mysterious properties. Unknown information. Undocumented entities. Image caption. Office space found within level 277. Level 277 is the 278th level of the Backrooms. It is a sprawling complex with an amalgamation of facilities, resembling those of a car factory. There exists little to no documentation on this level, given that intentional entry has been unsuccessful as of now. As per request from Base Omega, the Meg is conducting an ongoing search for any accounts that may pertain to level 277. Footnote: Initial request was sent on July 21st, 2021. An expedited order was then issued by High Command on October 6th, 2021, which included a reminder that word-of-mouth testimony should only hold influence if it is cross-verifiable. End footnote. Records should be posted in the final section of this article for posterity. It is suspected that this level is the reason for certain eyewitnesses' reports of disappearances popping up over recent years, which were previously thought to be the work of an entity or a form of delirium. Description: Level 277 is a mix of different corporate and industrial environments, primarily ones found in vehicle manufacturing plants. Noted regions include mailrooms, locker rooms, storage warehouses, cab assembly lines, frame welding lines, paint facilities, and cubicles, as well as sections that serve no discernible purpose. All of these areas are interconnected and often collide in places that would normally render production impossible. The building as a whole is in various states of disrepair and abandonment. Despite these conditions, the site remains running to some degree. Image caption, industrial section, including example of 277 marking. Its size is thought to be exceedingly large, but not infinite. Based on limited readings and inferences, it expands at least several hundred kilometers in any given direction. Currently, it is unknown if any part of the environment is nonlinear. Footnote: Contact with another human has never been recorded on level 277. This could be due to spatial distortion or other mechanics, such as those governing entry and exit. End footnote. It has been confirmed that forested vegetation lies outside of the structure, but it remains unexplored in any capacity. One easily identifiable and distinct feature of this level is the fact that its number can be spotted in most areas due to numerous visible markings. There is also a viscous red substance that coats some surfaces, the properties of which are under open investigation. Footnote: The Meg has posted a claim offering a substantial reward for any samples of said material, unofficially dubbed Scarlet Pulp. End footnote. Known entities. Though rare, a few entities have been cited. Adult facelings donning workers' outfits that carry out tasks ranging from the operation of machinery to more ineffectual and repetitious chores. They exhibit traits that are uncommon in most facelings, notably swift and purposeful movements, combined with above-average intelligence. They refuse to engage when provoked, and are speculated to hold a limited comprehension of human body language. Dunks, performing menial duties alongside facelings. Attempts to tame them have proven unsuccessful. Skin stealers, although this has only been observed once. Other accounts are needed to corroborate this one due to its potentially dubious veracity. See Log 277-C. Supervisor, or supervisors. It is undetermined whether this is an actual entity or the manifestation of a severe deleterious cognitohazard within the level. See Log 277-E. Bases, outposts, and communities. There are no known bases, outposts, or communities on this level. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Access to level 277 has been determined to be a random occurrence, the odds of which are evidently extremely low. It is theorized that entry is achievable via any level as long as the following conditions are met: either no clipping in an attempt to access a separate level, or crossing through an open door, being a male between the approximate ages of 18 and 60. Footnote: There is conjecture over whether any additional factors play a role, i.e., personal history and psychology, but this remains inconclusive without a larger sample size. End footnote. Possessing an electronic device that has GPS capability and or the means to download and install applications, it does not matter if the device itself is functional, as it gains anomalous properties once inside the level. Exits. Evidence points to there being no exiting from level 277 via typical methods. So far, there are only two confirmed means of escape: completing a number of routes via the Securitus app while, quote unquote, on shift, then following the app's guide to an exit. The amount required depends on the person. It is probable that this returns you to your location prior to being transported to level 277. Being assigned a quote unquote new facility via the Securitus app. More data is required on how to achieve this outcome. One possibility is that it is linked to a prolonged unwillingness to follow your designated quote unquote shifts. See log 277 B. Given the verbiage used, the exit may be random in this case. Additional information: Securitus app. Once someone enters level 277, an electronic device on their person will undergo several changes, the most conspicuous of which is a program bearing the name Securitus that is automatically installed. Footnote: while it is surmised that this mainly applies to cell phones and tablets, it has been shown to adapt to other technologies. End footnote. The app is similar in function to ones that security companies use to ensure that employees finish their patrols while on duty. Footnote: typically, a smartphone would be utilized to scan NFC tags or QR codes in any order the guard chooses to do their rounds. The Securitus app is more restrictive in that it picks your route for you by providing the path to a single tag and only updating to the next once it has been scanned. The intensity, distance, and time consumption of a route varies. End footnote. In lieu of a system to clock in or out is a display informing you of whether you are currently quote unquote on shift. There is no immediate penalty for failing or refusing to complete a patrol. Instead, you will receive a series of motivational quotes, guidelines, and warnings through the app's SMS system based on your level of compliance. See log 277 D. The tone of these messages is generally more positive the more you adhere to your quote unquote shifts. Any device that contains the Securitus app is unable to be turned off and does not need batteries nor other forms of energy. The app cannot be removed unless one exits level 277, after which it uninstalls itself and the affected gadget returns to normal. No thorough attempts have been made to destroy a device while it is altered, but it is heavily advised not to test this, as it would likely render you unable to leave. Logs. Log 277 A. Richard King. Transcript from a journal in possession of the Camp Amber Level 11, the city that never sleeps, outpost. Well, this is something. Could have sworn I was walking out of my room. Sure looked like it until I stepped foot through the door. I know the way to get to other levels is pretty fickle sometimes, but this seems different. Is my lodging not safe? I just joined a settlement, and I'd prefer not to go through that rigmarole another time. On the bright side, this piece of junk iPhone I've been lugging around has some use again. Even let me look at my old photo albums. My wife. Anyway, I should take a gander at this app, wishing myself luck. I was scared this Securitas business was going to make me do something twisted, but this is almost too easy. All I've been doing is walking and pressing my phone up against some walls. Nothing has tried to eviscerate me yet, and I was lucky enough to have consumables on me before I was whisked away to this place. Not that I can exactly last forever, but I'm feeling optimistic. I reckon I jumped the gun with my optimism. I don't think this is going anywhere, and I've been at it for a week. No way to tell day from night here, but at least I have my phone's display to keep track. Although, the date is completely off, which is a good reminder that it shouldn't be working to begin with. Why am I trusting this confounded app in the first place? Aren't most things in the Backrooms not what they seem? Come to think of it, this is kind of like a dead-end third shift I used to do. I hated it. I'm going to try something else for a spell. No progress. I can't tell if I'm walking in circles or not. Kind of how she usually goes, huh? Thing is, the Faceless, or whatever they're called, They're shooting me looks now. I know it's foolish to call them looks, but I feel judged. For some reason, it's getting to me. Should I go back to using the phone? Rations are getting a bit tight. I should be fine a little while longer if I conserve them. Been there before. If nothing else, I'm getting better at these routes. A little exercise never hurt, right? And these messages are outright cheesy, but hey, at least they're telling me good job. I came across one of those things. I think one that I've already seen before, working a forklift. Not sure how he was working it with the sorry state it was in, but that's beside the point. When I looked at him, I'm pretty sure he nodded at me. Could have been a muscle spasm or my eyes playing tricks on me. Regardless, it was kind of nice in a weird way. Provisions are running dangerously low, but my body has gotten used to it. I'm very good at the routes now, feeling sore but no pain, no gain. That was one of the quotes I was sent. I know I'm not being paid, but I figure I deserve a raise. I should tell that to whoever in tarnation is sending me these texts. There was a terrible accident today. I saw one of the regulars completely crushed underneath a crate. Total goner. I feel sorry for the poor bastard's family. Well, now, according to this phone, I have been offered a full time position. I can either accept and stay here or decline, in which case it says it will lead me to an exit. Thank the Lord I can finally leave. Is what I want to say, but I'm not sure. Let me put it this way. If I left here, what would I really be doing anywhere else? Would I be valuable? Hell, would I even survive? There's no guarantee of where I'd be spit back out. Maybe it's that uncertainty that's ultimately scaring me. I need to consider it. I scarfed down the last of my food and drink. Figured it would help me get my brain started. I made up my mind that I'm going to leave. Something about my decision still doesn't feel right. Been staring at pictures of my wife for the past hour, but I think I'm needed elsewhere. I can honestly hardly believe it, but I ended up right at the front of my room again. I collapsed into bed pretty quick from exhaustion, and after I woke up, I was ravenous enough to eat for 3 people. Nobody really questioned where I went, which was shocking considering I'm fairly certain that I spent a month there. My iPhone is a regular old brick again as well, almost makes me think it never happened. Looking back and reading the rest of my journal entries, I have positively no clue why I considered staying. Not enough oxygen getting to my brain with all that musty air, I guess. Who in the blazes wants to do nothing but run around all day with a couple of faceless for company? Log 277 B. Unknown. Transcript of audio from a phone that was discovered on Level 8. Cave Systems. 2.26.2002. Okay. Fuck. I'm, I'm recording this, basically, in case this isn't a dream, or me hallucinating, or, you know, I guess it really doesn't matter. But this is the only thing I can think of. To, keep me sane. A little sane. I don't know. Already tried calling someone. So, I don't know how I got here. I mean, I fell down some stairs, so maybe I died and this is my hell. I I don't think I did anything wrong. But this is pretty dirty. For heaven. Jesus, what would my mom think? I, uh, this is crazy, you know? I've had some really bad nightmares before, and I guess I couldn't tell those were fake when I was having them, but muffled noises. 2.26.2002. There, there are fucking things here. I pretty much shit myself when I saw what one of them looked like. I tried to hide, and my phone went off, and I thought it was dead meat, but I don't think they noticed. So, I cried in the corner for a bit, but my phone wouldn't shut up, and I couldn't turn it off. So I checked what was happening, and it turns out, I guess there's this thing on here. Never seen it before, but it says I'm on shift. I think it wants me to work here? I know my family says I should get a job soon, but this is ridiculous. Right? Who am I fucking talking to anyway? I mean, the sound of crying can be heard. 2.27.2002. I don't know what to do. Pretty sure if I follow my phone, it's gonna lead me right to some fucking demon or something. Maybe I should just do that and get eaten, and then I'll wake up. But, I mean, I don't know if this is a dream. I feel thirsty. It feels real. I found a water fountain, but what came out? I don't think that shit was good for me. I shouldn't try that again. I'm gonna focus on what needs to be done, and to try to find a way out. Or maybe just huddle here and cry and pray. 2.28.2002. I got some sleep. Had a dream I was back home. That's just fucking cruel, right? 2.28.2002. Yeah, me again. There's no exit to this place, probably. And now there's blood or something all over the walls, as if it couldn't get any scarier. I've been thinking, and I think I remember a rumor, kind of like this at school. This kid, he looked at forums, like real nerd shit, and he told me about something like this, I think, like a scary story. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of scary stories kind of like this, but if it was true, then someone would have to be around to write it, you know? Audible ding. My phone's giving me reminders, patronizing ones. You know what I think of that? Fuck you! 3.1.2002. I'm scared. Did I mention I'm scared? I'm getting kind of dizzy. I wish there was water, or food. I wish I wasn't here. Please. Please. Pretty please. Please, God. You fucking fuck! Loud crash. These things really don't break, huh? 3.2.2002. Phone says I'm free to go. I'm relocated to a mumbling new facility or something. I don't care anymore. I'm going to follow it. Please, please let me go home. 3.3.2002. I'm here. Took a while. I'm here. It says exit. God, I swear I'll go to fucking church for real. I'll stop swearing. Just take me back. 3.3.2002. Squelching. Sorry, Mom. Footnote. Recordings were found on an abandoned Nokia 3310, recovered by a Cave Raiders scout around June of 2014. The phone was at one-third of its battery life. End footnote. Log 277-C, Colt Pilkington. Transcript from a journal picked up on the streets of Level 230, the Port of Misgivings, by a homely hotel worker. Footnote. Typos have been maintained for accurate record keeping. End footnote. Oh, what the hell's all this now? I was trying to get to bloody level 230. Instead, I'm in a fuck-off massive dingy factory. I need supplies. If this proves dangerous, might as well bash me own head in, bugger me. Me bleedin' tablet wants me to walk me bleedin' arse off to do fuck all. How about I no-clip out this hellhole instead, you stupid cunt? I think I have a fucking concussion from trying that. Saw a no-face just moving the same box back and forth between two corners and laughed my fucking head off watching the ugly bellend go at it. Even I'm not that dumb. How in the queen's soggy taint does anything round here move when it's gone to shite? If I die getting tetanus from all the rust, I promise I'll fucking haunt this bloody place. I got no food and no liquor. Now lovely, positively gobsmacking lovely. Okay, new plan. I follow what this piece of bloated bollocks tells me to do. It doesn't matter for fuck all anyway. If I'm to die and the only water I could find was swill more rancid than the piss they'd serve you in Plymouth. Surprise, surprise! If you do enough of these scan whatsits, whichever sodding bastard is running this place lets you take a break. Me tablet led me to a room with a styrofoam cup of water and a candy bar. Not exactly fine fucking dining, ain't it? But it's better than nothing. Crying shame it's what came out the tap and not an almond water. I really don't get how this navigation system works, but I get the job done eventually. I'm getting 2 cups of water and 2 candy bars a day, which is in my opinion nothing short of a human fucking rights violation, but still better not look a gift horse in the bollocks. Get this, there was a fucking pile of things in the corner, and I didn't know what the fuck they were, but then I got a closer look after I realized they were good and dead. It was bloody skin steelies. That wasn't wearing any skin. I could see their eye through tubey veins and everything. I don't know if they starved to death or what, but it made me arse hairs stand on end. I'm booting it the fuck out of here when I can. Doing this isn't as dire as I first thought, but before long me tablet offered me to stay or leave, to which I said yes, please, and thank you. Shoot me the exit bloody immediately, so I will be going there now. Christ's sake, at least drop me off at 230, which is where I wanted to go. Now I gotta find another store to try it again. In summation, this was fucking stupid. Thus ends this chapter of Colt's Adventure Diary. Log 277-D, Professor Bandile Ease. Transcript of images sent directly to Base Omega, including relevant photos. Page 1, 05/28/16. I'm quite certain that I followed the correct procedure to enter level 165, Lying Bliss. While the sentiment of being the first to document a glitch is exhilarating, I nevertheless find myself nettled for two main reasons. 1. This was supposed to be a personal study session that I would conduct at my leisure, seeing as how my schedule's been cleared up. 2. As such, I've only brought some notebooks and a laptop to record my findings. I'm unable to connect to an outside network, but I'll be detailing my experience both digitally and via written account, were anything to happen to me. Heavens forbid. Fortunately, due to my own neurotic tendencies, I've brought an abundance of supplies to last me well past my expected period of stay. Unfortunately, I'm equipped to handle a survival level of 3 at best, and this is an utterly foreign realm to me, a rare and unnerving feeling to someone who checks the database every Monday and Friday. The good news is that I no longer need to concern myself with my laptop's portable charger. The plausibly equally good news is that it's due to an anomalous application. I've run several diagnostics, and it hasn't compromised any software, nor breached sensitive data. Time to fiddle with it against my better judgment. Tee-hee. Fascinating. There is no getting rid of this program. I even removed my hard drive to no avail. The UI is a little clumsy. Perhaps it was originally meant for a phone? The instructions outlined within Securitus for Windows 7 are simple and concise. The crux of the issue is if following them is within my best interest. I'll ignore it for the time being, and see what happens. Besides, I've no desire to blindly go along with a map when I haven't scoped out the infrastructure of what I'll be traversing. Page 2, 5/29/16. I have to say that I've been rather amused by the proceedings of the past 24 hours. From what I gather, this is a crude replication of an industrial plant, likely something to do with the production of sedans. There's also a recurring trend in the number 277, as good a label as any for a level. There is quite the hodgepodge of elements thrown in here, as if someone had only toured through them in passing and recreated it all from memory. Alas, I'm not qualified to provide deeper insight, as I'm very far from an automotive expert. My findings on the Securitus program have been curious in their own right, if a bit dull. I've received several messages consisting of what I can only describe as the most gauche attempts at incentive imaginable. What truly piqued my curiosity was their source. I've sent several inquiries through Securi SMS, and I will promptly give an update if I receive an answer. My surroundings are providing a litany of intrigue. Not only have I encountered facelings that are wholeheartedly committed to manual labor, but I can get within centimeters of them without a reaction. Why, I might even take a skin sample. I don't believe I'll be scraping pollen anytime soon, after all. Page 3, 6/03/16. Just as my time here was turning into a slog, I've come across something substantial. As much as my first love has and will always be the flora of the front rooms, this has sent my heart aflutter. This substance could prove vitally important to the future of our survival. Nothing is certain, but I'd give the world for my former colleagues to receive a sample. I've attached a picture below. No image caption available. Sadly, a sketch will have to suffice for my notebook. What good is it really when my only tools are pencils? Page 4, 06/06/16. My hypothesis has so far proven to be correct. This ruddy muck behaves similarly to ferrofluid, though the response is comparatively weak. And, rather than being attracted to magnetic poles, it's instead drawn towards moving parts, pistons, levers, machinery. After that, it integrates with them. There is a significant correlation between the areas of 277 that remain functional despite severe degradation and the concentrations of crimson agar, name pending. If I'm on the money, what it effectively does is sustain defunct systems. Imagine if our equipment would never break down, if we could secure generators without necessarily repairing them. The benefit to humanity borders on immeasurable, let alone if it works on circuits. I should temper my expectations. There are still many variables that could render it all moot. Is it possible to replace in a lab? Does it retain its properties after being transplanted? How could I be sure it would take effect outside of this level to begin with? I'll tell you how. I'm collecting a sizable amount and finding an exit. If there is a Nobel Prize in the Backrooms, this would surely be my ticket to earning it. Page 5, 06/09/16. After roughly mapping my course, I'm under the impression that following the Securitus GPS would send me into a never-ending carousel, or some other such nonsense. It doesn't allow me to zoom out or scroll for further clarity, so I'm opting to trek directly north. The fact that my compass watch and the Securitus GPS remain aligned is giving me confidence in paving a way forward. I should make attempts to cross into another level as I proceed. I'm either having horrid luck, or the prospect of no-clipping here is even more haphazard than the norm. I saw a stone dunk, but what's more, it was working alongside a faceling. All they seemed to be doing was standing pallets upright, but I'm certain that this is breaking new ground regardless. I touched the little one's trunk, and it made no alteration in its course. This level is chock full of oddities. I've still got more almond water and nutrient bars than you can shake a stick at, but nothing is truly reassuring when you could be trudging along in a pocket universe. Page 6, 06/20/16. I'm resorting to logging the maladroit texts that are piling up in my inbox as an excuse to busy myself as I travel. I won't bother to include any repeats. Tough first day? We've all been there. Don't be afraid to ask management if you have any pressing questions. We know you can do it. Safe, affordable, dependable, Securitus. We pride ourselves on our staff's sense of belonging and accomplishment. Hang in there. Employee participation is absolutely necessary for morale. Management would really like to see you step up the plate. We're all family here. Please consult our HR department if there's anything on your mind. Let's show the other guys how it's done. I see a raise in your future if you stick with Securitus. Idle hands are the devil's plaything. We pay for all food and refreshments out of pocket. You won't find that anywhere else. Don't forget that tomorrow is Wacky Tie Friday. Would you like to take a survey on employee satisfaction? To my chagrin, there has never been a response to my own messages, even when the memo in question is soliciting a reply. In any case, it's an afterthought in the face of what I'm carrying with me. Page 7, 06/28/16. I can't help but wonder if I'm making a mistake of sorts. For all that changes around me, it largely remains the same. I might have decided to turn back by now if it were not for the fact that the Securitus waypoint has been repositioning every few days. That tells me that the previous ones never had much significance in the first place. Still, I can't shake this inkling that my choice isn't the correct one. One of the facelings seemed to move aside for me, as opposed to ignoring my presence. No time to waste investigating further. Besides, it's common for them to display divergent behavior. 07/06/16. To prevent myself from jumping off the nearest ledge due to ennui, I'm considering cataloging a few of the environments I'm forced to trudge through. Ultimately, it would amount to little more than describing a slab of metal with some bells and whistles strewn about. Is this how other people feel when I prattle on about plants? 07/06/16. I suspect I've come to understand something about 277. After tracking my sleep and bodily functions, I'll have to test my theory to be sure of anything, but I need to exercise great caution. Page 8 only includes the two pictures that were moved to the top of this article. Pages 9 through 14 were not able to be recovered. Page 15, 08/02/16. Presenting more of my favorite quips from Securi SMS. Note the sardonicism. I need to leave this forsaken place, and soon. There's so much I have yet to do. Vigilance is the key to a secure workplace. #1 worldwide for over a decade. Reminder, employee satisfaction survey. We know you want what's best for the company, but you have to show it. Early to bed, early to rise. You may be given a pink slip if you fail to adhere to standards and practices. Would it be beneficial for you to be moved to a different shift? Mondays, don't you just hate 'em? We don't stop at security for the client. Secure jobs, secure futures, secure hearts. That's the Securitus guarantee. Free cookies in the break room this Monday. No person too qualified. No position unfilled. We at Securitus always believe in our employees. Your cause is valuable and important. The final text in this list is blank. I've been receiving them with less frequency. The most recent was, in fact, blank. One can only hope this means they've ceased. Page 16, 08/29/16. I'm speechless. After everything I've attempted, after how far I've come. This is what I find? I'm positive I'm still on the same level. To think this building wasn't infinite, or perhaps I've reached the end of a countable infinity? This is a joke. I'm unsure of what to do, but all things considered, turning back is tantamount to suicide. And I'm finally in the open, the outdoors. I can see green. No image caption available. If nothing else, I'm going to lie in the grass for a bit. Log 277-E, Meg Operative Jordan Lazarus. Transcript of radio transmissions recorded by Base Omega. 07-21-21 1649-47. Jordan. What the fuck? Grim. Heidecker. What's your status? 1649-53. Grim. All clear. 1649-55. Heidecker. Looking good. Wait, aren't you behind us? 1650-01. Jordan. Do you copy? Where are you? 1650-06. Heidecker. We're at level 5, Terror Hotel. Sir? 1650-11. Grim. HQ? 1650-12. Jordan. Come on! What's wrong with this hunk of crap? Shouldn't I be at least level 5? 1650-15. Grim. HQ. Are our comms running okay? 1650-18. HQ. Everything seems all clear, but it seems Agent Lazarus can't hear you. We're currently trying to solve the issue. Over. 1650-24. Jordan. HQ. Do you come in? This place is some kind of warehouse. 1650-30. HQ. Agent Lazarus. Do you copy now? 1650-36. Jordan. God damn it. This should be working fine. Doesn't even say I've been disconnected. Alright. I'm gonna roll with the assumption that my audio is still coming through. Let it be known on record that I cannot hear shit. 1651-0. Heidecker. I don't get it. We went through the same door, didn't we? 1651-04. HQ. Do another clear of the air. 1651-06. Jordan. What in the... Rustling. 1651-10. HQ. We're isolating Agent Lazarus to a different frequency and seeing if we can't figure this out. In the meantime, you two do another clear of the area and check the door you came through. Be cautious. 1651-20. Grim. Roger. 1651-22. HQ. If there is no determinable way to regroup, you will have to proceed with the mission on your own. 1651-28. Heidecker. I fucking hate this place. Over. 1651-33. Grim. What did you get yourself into this time, Lazo? 1654-39. Jordan. HQ. Come in, HQ. 1654-43. HQ. We hear you loud and clear. We are going to leave this 1654-46. Jordan. My GPS is compromised. There's a program here that is definitely not authorized software. How should I proceed? 1654-52. HQ. We're going to leave this channel open, but it's our suspicion. 1654-56. Jordan. Motherfuck! 1654-59. HQ. That you won't be able to hear us until you can exit the level you're on. 1655-04. Jordan. Clattering. 1655-06. HQ. Godspeed, soldier. 1658-17. Jordan. If this data is getting stored, and I damn well hope it could be vital to keep my mic hot. New frontiers are Compass Point's raison d'etre, after all. Just wish I had my team. 165633. I'm gonna check for info hazards in this program as well as I can. I will report back ASAP. 170311. Everything's fine. I'll keep doing routine checks with prolonged exposure. Besides, if it's showing me the way out, I'd be a fool to throw it away. Still, I'm trying some escape procedures first. Various grunts, clangs, and exclamations truncated. 174230. Okay, multiple attempts to no-clip into suspect geometry have all failed. Any doors I've found so far are either welded shut or lead into more of this industrial shitscape. I think one section was a paint facility. Could smell the fumes as soon as I got close. Based on the markings in the area, I believe this is level 277. That's what I'm gonna call it, anyway. 174244. HQ. Roger. We will run an immediate search on level 277. I pray there's nothing we find that you need to hear. 174251. Jordan. Oh, would you look at that? A faceling with a hard hat. It would almost be cute if it wasn't disgusting. 174302. HQ. Looks like we have nothing on a 277, which makes you either lucky or unlucky. We'll send a request up the chain of command for any archived data that matches your descriptions. 181138. Jordan. As I understand it, what this program wants me to do is work shifts by visiting different parts of the complex. Basically a patrol. I'd say it's poetic, but I hope it's just a coincidence. 190108. The layout of the building is complete nonsense. I've seen cab assemblies running straight into what I assume are call centers that were abandoned some 40-odd years ago, but what really surprises me is how these facelings are moving. Some of them are more efficient than the bastards I'm assigned with. 190144. Damn, I'm not really used to the silence. Hasn't been that way for a long time. 193213. The more I venture due east, the more I'm noticing a damp red sludge coating some surfaces. Looks a bit like blood, but the composition is different. Not a snowball's chance in hell I'm letting it get near my face or hands. That's up to the research freaks if you can manage to get 'em in here. 193433. This part's especially... What? 193439. Found a laptop, of all things. Against all odds, it works. Barely. Let's see here. 193455. 193459. You boys back home are gonna love this. I'm taking as many pictures as I can. Don't know how much longer the battery will hold out, though. 193526. HQ. I can see that you've recovered some intel. Can you hear us? 193536. I repeat, can you hear us? We cannot afford to monitor this frequency constantly, so we'll have an operative checking in once every 4 hours. We'll get an alert if any more pictures are sent over. 193550. Jordan. Ah, damn it. Thing's toast. I'm finding a good position to hole up in and go over this data. 194823. This guy left some pretty decent notes. We absolutely need to bring the research freaks in if what he talked about is true. Think I'll refrain from too much radio chatter unless I have something to report that isn't covered here. This place is starting to make me feel uneasy. 232415. Completed my first route. Message received through Securitus was congratulatory. 07-22-21 000. HQ. Agent Lazarus, do you come in? Further attempts truncated. 06-3256. Jordan. Current supplies will last 2 weeks. Remind me whose bright idea it was to restock at Beta when I get home. 15-05-27. God damn. 15-06-01. Some of these routes are harder than drills I've had to do. I'm going at my own pace from now on. 18-22-13. Spotted a dunk in a hallway. Looks different than the one that Mr. Ease described. It's oxidized, I think. 18-22-42. This one's a no-go in terms of taming. I just can't imagine a faceling taming a dunk. But I guess you learn something new every day. 07-23-21, 09-17-22. The monotony of this is already irritating me. I can picture the boys right now, playing a round of poker and laughing their asses off that I'm stuck doing a simpleton's work because a level told me to. 09-19-46. I'm tempted to look for the same exit the good professor found, but something's telling me I shouldn't. I had to skip past a few pages, but I'm sure I caught the last one. How'd only his laptop wind up back here? 07-25-21, 14-12-40. Seems the routes I'm taking have gotten easier. Can it tell what I'm able to handle? I'm doing another check for info hazards to be safe. 14-16-31. Everything's clear, but gah! 14-16-33. Loud thud. 14-16-35. Watch where you're fucking moving, buddy! 14-16-42. Why did I just mouth off to a faceling? HQ, please scrub that off the record. 07-28-21, 20-13-13. I'm not sure what they're making in this section, but it's sweltering. I'm getting readings of 60 degrees Celsius in here. Good thing our suits can handle harsh temperatures. 22-31-58. Fuck me. At least that's over. 22-32-24. 22-32-28. Man, that almond water hits the spot. Why did I even go through there? 22-32-35. Oh yeah, the route. 22-32-40. This is stupid. I'm attempting more escape procedures at 0600 tomorrow. 07-29-21, 10-03-58. I've tried everything in the manual, and then some. Standard wall clips, corner clips, ceiling jumps, super bounces. Hell, I fucking tried that backward shit that Idraulico insists he pulled off. Nothing. I'm gonna attempt to pass through any obscure entryway that doesn't look like it'll kill me. 19-12-17. Not only has this been an utterly unproductive waste of my time, but now I have several messages from Securitus that I'm convinced were expertly crafted to piss me off. 19-12-31. It's situations like these you think maybe this is penance for what you've done. 20-29-04. Time to resume following the Securitus GPS. I'll still try my hand at no-clipping into any promising spots, but if I keep up this pace, I'm gonna exhaust myself more than I already have. My rations are okay, but my almond water's running low. 08-01-21, 07-05-11. Almond water is officially gone. I've spent the past 2 days trying to secure a source of anything drinkable. The piping system here makes as little sense as everything else, and all it's carrying is bile. 08-02-21, 22-16-58. Is this how I'm gonna go out? Honestly, I could call it fitting. Deserved, even. Deep down, I might be sick of this shit anyway. Not just this place. All of it. Everything. 22-17-22. Scrub that off the record, by the way. 08-03-21, 13-0-0. What? Is this a joke? 13-0-09. Securitus is telling me that I get a break. 13-0-17. Sure, break my fucking kneecaps, why don't you? 13-0-48. HQ, let it be known, if I don't report back after this, that under no circumstances should someone in level 277 enter any area designated the break room. 13-11-33. This is too good to be true. There's a cup of water in front of me. I'm running every diagnostic on it possible before I drink it. 13-35-06. Securitus says I'm over on my break time, but they can suck a turd through a tailpipe. Anyway, everything comes back clean. It's 100% regular distilled water. 13-35-18. HQ, if I don't report back after this, please start a file on a new object that is indistinguishable from water but kills you anyway. 13-35-47. I am starting to wish I got sent literally anywhere less boring than here. 08-06-21, 19-37-04. Status update. After depleting my rations, I'm now receiving food in addition to water. Still no anomalous properties in either. It would have been real kind of whatever's doing this to start prior to my own supplies running out, but whatever. 08-08-21, 15-18-52. Jogging has gotten easier during my routes. Almost feel like I'm in my prime again. Almost, anyway. 08-11-21, 09-23-10. Some of these facelings are beginning to look familiar. I mean, not in a they look like my loved ones kind of way, just that I've seen them around here before. It's a little queer, considering I've never once doubled back into a previous area, but I guess they have their routes too, right? 08-18-21, 1841-55. For somewhere that has a picture of the outside, this really seems infinite. Truth be told, I'm losing morale. I don't know if I'm getting out of here. I need some time to think instead of running around like a chicken with its head cut off. 08-19-21, 05-31-12. Something is wrong. Ever since stopping my Securitus patrols, I felt increasingly doubtful. Unsure. Guilty. But beyond that, obliged to keep doing it. And this sense of duty, it feels like my other duties are slipping from me. There is no way this isn't a cognitive hazard. I'm throwing my GPS away. 08-02-37. I came back for it. I'll run some scans. On myself. On everything. 08-39-25. They all came back clean. 08-22-21, 14-25-39. I've gotten very efficient at running routes, I think. Probably the best there is, but it doesn't really matter. I can tell when things aren't right. Screw what the scans say. What am I supposed to do, though? Do I even have another option? 08-23-21, 03-22-03. Maybe I'm simply paranoid. This goddamn constant rust and steam and banging and clanging is getting to me. I feel obliged because I do have an obligation to get the fuck back home to my team. I have to find a way. I will find a way. 03-24-12. I'm up too late. I should sleep, or else it'll affect my shift. 08-45-23. Hey, you there. I said you. Hey! Hey! Rustling. 08-45-29. Listen to me. Do you hear me? Do you? 08-45-32. Static. 08-45-33. Uh-huh. 08-45-35. 08-45-36. Christ! 08-45-38. 08-45-38. Back off. Right the fuck now. I said just 08-45-51. What the fuck? 08-32-21, 09-13-47. This is totally insane. I'm all shook up over a faceling. 09-13-41. I spotted one of them packing boxes, and this time I knew for sure that I had seen him around, but it felt as if I'd known him for longer than I'd actually been here. It felt natural. Then he turned to me, and I swear to God, he acknowledged me, the same way an old pal would. Despite everything, it all made sense, and I just snapped. I began shaking him, trying to throw him to the ground. For some reason, I thought he'd be able to respond to me, which only made me more frantic. 09-13-24. His face started tearing, right where the mouth would be, right where the eyes would be, and that red shit started leaking out. I backed off, raised my pistol, all the while he's wailing and crying. Didn't even come at me. He just lurched away. 09-13-11. I didn't fire. I don't know why. I remember when we used to kill facelings for fun, but I couldn't pull the trigger this time. 09-13-03. Why couldn't I do it? 08-0. 000. I haven't gotten a new route since that incident. I'm worried. If I can't get water anymore, I won't last for much longer. 000. I'm back to trying to no-clip out, which, still, 000. Audible ding. 000. 000. Vomiting. 000. No, 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 no. 000. Vomiting. 000. 11-13-000. Is this thing on? 000. I got a message from Securitus. 000 said we need to talk from the supervisor. 000. I've been on the task force a long time. Been through a lot of ugly, nasty, mind-bending shit. Seen people die in the worst ways. Still remember when I had to spend a few days in the ward after being dropped into level 6. Lights out. 000. This is nothing like any of that. 000. Have you ever imagined what it feels like to be a puppy that wets the floor? When when your owner comes in, when they pick you up by the scruff of your neck and rub your face in it? 000. 000. Sorry, where was I? 000. Yeah, the puppy. Multiply that by 1 trillion, and it doesn't even come close. 000. I'm not a soldier. What even am I? 000. All I know is that. 000. He's disappointed. 000. He's not even mad. He's 55-55. 000. Please, please, please. Unintelligible. Please, please. No, 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 please. 000. I can do better. I can do better. I can do better. I can do better. 000. Vomiting. 0-0. You don't understand. He's watching. Eval. Unintelligible. He's always here. He's you and unintelligible. Should do better. Because he won't come out. He's inside. He's all of us, but he won't come out. Why? 000. Oh, 000. I have to go. 0-0. HQ. This is First Lieutenant Jordan Lazarus reporting in. Call sign M450A. Hope you're still listening. You won't believe the dressing down I got from the boss. I scared one of the regulars half to death. He understands this isn't an easy change of career, though, so I'm pretty sure I'm in the green. Still, he doesn't want any more mishaps. Seems as though there are gonna be some site-wide policy changes. That's life, I guess. Anyway, tell the boss that I've found new employment. Hell, I think my chance for a promotion here is even better. Pretty sure I won't be coming back. But I'll send you a postcard if I can. My shift is coming up. So, ta-ta! Footnote. All communications have ceased since this final message, which was determined by a separate clock to be at approximately 7 a.m. on September 30th, 2021. The Meg is still looking into the matter of simultaneous equipment malfunctions in the display of the correct time and date, as well as researching tools that can bypass anomalous one-way blocks should they ever happen again. End footnote.